Okay, I hope you're awesome. And that brings me to the fifth daily routine of the Masters. And first of all, I want to congratulate you for getting to routine number 5. I mean, you are clearly on a path of mastery. I say this a lot, you've heard me say it before, but to have the results only 5% of the population has, you need to be doing the things that only 5% of the population is willing to do. And not only the fact that you've invested in this program, but you've got this far shows me you have what it takes. It shows me you have the commitment. It shows me there's a fire in your belly to live an epic life and do something great in the world. And I just, a little side note, but the world needs more heroes right now. And this isn't just a personal mastery course or a leadership course. This is really a course about personal heroism. And I want to just acknowledge you for actually going through this course so you can become a braver, more confident, better performer. And just imagine if the whole world did this course. Or it doesn't have to be my course. Just imagine if the whole world invested in their personal mastery and their exterior leadership. Gandhi said it so well. He said, be the change you want to see in the world. Margaret Mead, the social anthropologist, said it even more elegantly, or equally as beautiful, when she said, never doubt the fact that a small group of people can change the world. That's the only group that ever has. And so all of us going through this program, you are really on a path not only for personal mastery and to be epic in your work, but you're also unleashing and awakening and liberating and freeing the hero inside of you. And if the whole world did that, our planet would be fundamentally different. But that's a bit of a side note. I do want to say bravo, and I do want to get into routine number 5. And routine number 5 is one of my favorite routines that I want you to practice until it becomes a way of being. And it's the 60-minute student. See, we live in a world where a lot of people are addicted to entertainment versus falling in love with education. See, victims complain about their lives. They don't have enough money. They live their life in crisis-oriented management. It's a mess, and they're addicted to it. But here's what they do if you look at behind the curtain of their life. They're addicted to entertainment. They will tell you the latest TV shows. They know every latest film. They know all the hot songs or whatever. And I love music. But I think you understand my point. An addiction to entertainment will deny you world class. See, victims love entertainment. Leaders adore education. And as you learn more, you can do more. People talk about Steve Jobs and they say Steve Jobs was a genius, but if you actually study Steve Jobs, he really wasn't so much of a genius. He just monomaniacally focused on understanding and learning more about his industry than anyone else ever did it. And so if you look at the best of the best, if you look at the geniuses, it wasn't their genetics, it wasn't their DNA. They were not cut from a different cloth than you or I. They had this in common. They focused monomaniacally on learning more about their craft or their sport or their industry until the days slipped into weeks, the weeks slipped into months, and they got to a place where they knew more about their industry or craft or their work or their skill than anyone who had ever done it. And then the world called them geniuses. And so I'm encouraging you to fall in love with being curious again. I'm encouraging you to get the sparkle you had when you were like a 6-year-old student. You ever seen little kids, for example? They have a sparkle in their eye. They see the world through the eyes of wonder. And I'm encouraging you every single day, spend at least 60 minutes in learning. I'm inviting you to spend the rest of your life as an eternal student. And I'm encouraging you, know more about what you do. Know more about your singular dream. Know more about your mighty mission than anyone who has ever done what you do in the history of the world. Angela Lee Duckworth, let's go to some science. Angela Lee Duckworth is at University of Pennsylvania, and she is the preeminent researcher on the field of grit. And she has found this. The best students, the best performers all have one thing in common. They are relentless in their ability to learn. They have what she calls grit, this persistence to learn and stay with their goals long after the world thinks they should stay with their goals. So routine number 5 is to spend 60 minutes every single day in quiet and deep learning in a world where people have forgotten the value of learning. And that's really what masters do, you know? I mean, if you look at a genius or a master in a world where a lot of people are addicted to distraction, I call it the cult of superficiality. Everyone wants to learn things quickly. Everyone wants to be the dominant player in their industry within a week. But if you look at the masters, if you look at all geniuses, they quietly focused on learning and practicing and studying their craft for years until they got to a point where the world saw them as world class. How do you do that? One of the key ways, the 60-minute student, read for 60 minutes or write in a journal for 60 minutes or listen to a podcast. I've got a podcast called The Mastery Sessions. It's free. Any podcast that has value will be great. I also believe in going to conferences, incredibly valuable. At least every quarter, go to a conference. You cannot put a price tag on being in a room with people who are smarter than you, faster than you, wiser than you, more energized than you. The real key I want you to think about, 60 minutes every day to amp up your learning, because your days slip into weeks, your weeks slip into months, and before you know it, you're going to get to the end of your life. Why not get to the end knowing more about what you do and your dreams and ambitions than anyone else around you?